Hi everyone, welcome back to the AI language. So today we are going to look at how to add columns and rows to our app on the AI language no code tool, and we are going to use our AI assistant right over here, which is powered by ChatGPT. All right. Now, last time, as you recall, we have already used our tool to create a basic page, and let's just recap what we did last time. So if you hover over this page, you can see in the bottom right corner the entire widget tree. So right now we have a portfolio page, and this has a scaffold, which is one of the widgets which we use to lay out all the content on our home screen. And then you have an app bar, which is this bar over here, which shows the title, which is my portfolio. I have renamed the page to portfolio page from the default mobile page earlier, so that it we are basically easily understand what we are working with. Then the scaffold also has a body below. In the body, we added a column last time, even though we did not talk about it, but we added a column and we added two texts to the column, which were the welcome text over here. As you can see in the bottom right, it says welcome text, and we have the name text. So now we have this basic page, and let's now talk about how to add columns and rows, and how they help us in laying out our widgets. Now, before I move ahead, just a quick reminder that if you want to know how to access this tool and set up your AI assistant, you can look at the description of this video with a link with a detailed setup video for the same. And once you have done that, you can follow along with the AI assistant. Also, there's an option to not use the AI assistant and just directly drag and drop the widgets, which is also useful if you would want to learn that way. For now, we are going to go ahead and move ahead with now learning about the columns and the rows. So now let's select this column over here and look at the details available. So we have a name, which is default column. So we'll change this to a body column, so that we understand, okay, this is the column which we have put on the body to align the body content, right? Then if you look at the options, you have the main axis alignment. So this basically decides how the children should be placed along the main axis of, or in the vertical direction for a column. For the row also we have this option, which is the horizontal direction. It says start, so basically it's putting all the elements at the start. You can center the elements like this, or you can put them at the end, or you can put space around those elements. So now you see you have space over here, then space over here, then you have another space over here and space over here, right? Or you can actually space them, you can put space in between them. So you can push elements to the end of the page and have max space in between them, or you can space them evenly, which is similar to space around, but the spacing is even over here, right? So this is what you can do with the column. For now, what we can do is we can space them evenly and keep it at this. Then we have the main axis size. So right now the axis size is set to maximum. What this means is that the column will expand to fill the entire space that it can along its main axis. So you can see that it actually extends from the bottom of the app bar over here to the bottom of end of the body of the scaffold. That we can actually make it go down to min. Now if we make it go down to min, it's going to take the minimum space. So even though you have an alignment which says space evenly, but the column itself is sized to take up the minimum space, so there's no space to assign evenly in between and around the child widgets. So it's going to contract to what we had in the beginning. So let's keep it at max, because we want the entire space to be occupied by the column, body column. And now we have the column like this. There's another option for cross axis alignment. Now what does this mean? So this basically means that how should the children be placed along the cross axis. So for a column, the main axis is the vertical axis, the cross axis is the horizontal axis, which is this particular axis like this. So now what we can do is that we can set the cross axis to baseline. So when we do baseline, it basically goes to the left, right? Then we can look at other options over here. We can center it, which is like this. We can put it at the end, which is like this, or we could put it at the start, which is again similar to baseline in this case, or we can put it to stretch. Okay, so stretch is basically now something like the main axis size. So it is stretching your cross axis to cover the entire page, right? So what we would want to do is let's just put this in the center for now. So we'll take the cross axis alignment, sorry, the we'll just take the cross axis alignment and we'll put it to center. All right, so now the column is taking as much space as is required for the particular child widgets, and it's coming in all the text is coming in the center. All right, then we move to vertical direction. So vertical direction can be kept as down, which is that the elements will flow from down to up, or up, which will reverse the order of the elements. So we'll put none, and I think this should be using the default value, which is down. And now we look at the children. So you can see that you have these children. You can keep on adding as many as you would want. So you can put another title over here, let's say, and click on save, and now the title gets repeated. As you can see, it's being highlighted in both places over here. So this is the same title that you've added over here, but we don't want to have that, so we just keep the two and we remove it. Now what if I wanted this to be a row, right? So over here what I can do is I can actually connect to my assistant and take its help. Okay, so my assistant is online now. Now let's try to add a row instead of a column and see how these elements get placed. So let's ask the assistant to do that. Hi, can you create a new row called the body row and assign it as the body of the scaffold? For this new row, add two children. One will be the welcome text and the other will be the name text. Please do this. Okay, so now we see that the assistant has done that for us.
This row includes the welcome text and name text as its children. Let me know if any further modifications are needed.
Okay, great. So now we have this, right, and we can actually hover over it and see what this is. So this is a portfolio page. So again, we're looking at the tree structure over here. So this is a portfolio page. It's followed by a scaffold, and right now I'm hovering over something called the body row, which the assistant has created for me. And then this has the name text and the welcome text that I had created earlier for me. So this looks great. And now let's select this this body row and check what all options do we have over here, right? So again, the name has been assigned by the assistant as body row. The description is a row widget to be used as the body of the scaffold. That's great. Now we look at the main axis alignment, and we have similar options over here. So we'll not go through them again, but let's say we put space between. So now we have the two elements pushed to the both sides and maximum space in between them. And then we have the main axis size. It's set to max. We can again put it to minimum, and it'll have a similar effect what we saw for the column. Then we have cross axis alignment. So again, we have different options over here. So for a row, the cross axis is the vertical axis that goes from top to bottom, and for the column it was the opposite. For the row, the main axis is the horizontal axis, right? So we can say stretch over here, and we see now the row is taking up the entire space that there is. And then we have other options over here that we're not going to go through for now. Then we have the children, and just like we saw for the column, we can add and remove children over here. So now what I'll do is I'll ask the assistant to actually revert it to what it was before, and let's try to do that. Can you just revert the type of the entities to what they were before you added the row? So now it should actually get it back to what it was before, so that we can continue from there.
I've reverted the scaffold's body to its original state. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to modify.
Okay, so this is great. This is great for us that we don't have to make these modifications on our own, and we can easily take the help of our assistant to do that. So this was all for today's video. We saw how columns and rows and how their properties work. It's very easy to see this in action with no code, because there is no compilation time involved. There's no code changes involved. And again, as we mentioned earlier, you can always right click this widget to copy and export the code. But we'll look at this at a later stage, when we have developed a bit of our app and we want to then compile it and run this on our screen. Now next time we'll try to look at other widgets like containers, and try to add those containers to the body to better place our text, because right now you can see that it's to the left. So we'd want to have it to the more to the center, and then we can add more elements like images, etc., in the further lessons that we go through. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue with this series to build the entire portfolio page. And always remember that we will use the share and publish widget as we used last time to make this live. Whatever changes you make over here, you can always go back to your portfolio share widget that we created last time, and you can see them on this link. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.